Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast with me Matt, where we have a 3v3 on La Fieri, but it's on the Eastern Front, so I guess we're somewhere on the Eastern Front. Let's go for the Soviets first. We have Alpha Skitari, another command choice. We have Pop SK straight out the gate with Tankovaya. And we have Vesti 1999, also another command choice. We're sent to Germans today. We have Maverick with Panzer Tactics for die Waffen-SS. Vonnie as the Wehrmacht without a commander. And Rachel straight out the gate with Leichte Division for the Wehrmacht. This could be fascinating. La Fieri is a pretty good map, in my opinion. Lots of wide spread out territory with lots of cover. An interesting little fuel spot over here where there's often a lot of fighting. So it's just spreading out with the troops to secure ground. Lots of Soviets in the field combats. Be able to overrun the Germans, but the Germans are quickly getting troops up and into position. I do like you can actually see which commander they are now down here. I don't actually have to check back at the base every now and then. We also have some Hitler Youth on the field here. It looks like the Waffen-SS is holding in their youngest to the front line. Oh, and indeed, the Germans are pushed all the way up to the fuel point here. Generally, some people like to rush this fuel point early. Oh, the sappers in a bad spot because of that. They need to cast that sandbag. Oh, God. They're trying to get behind heavy cover. More sappers are arriving. And we do also have some Fontaviki arriving. Alpha Skitari has gone for tank destroyer. Still nothing from Wesley. Ooh, Pioneers are caught a little bit close here by the conscripts. Conscripts actually not have bad in close range combat. Well, there's no window on this end, so they are just being shot up here. Or sappers moving about. Pioneers have to get out there. Folks Grenadiers are running into this little village, trying to apply some more pressure. We're probably fighting somewhere in eastern Germany. Or perhaps even in Poland. We're actually very much being Poland. Lots of Molotovs and bun flashes being tossed. And the firefight is pretty heavy in this little town here. German infantry is dying, but so are Soviets. They're being forced off somewhat. But the Fox Grenadiers are holding up behind these haystacks. Able the Hitler Youth are taking in down here. They have been able to keep a hold on the fuel point, which will certainly help. Cover has been established, but the sappers throw a grenade. Hitler Youth are still trying to hold on. They're waiting out for more Hitler Youth to arrive, as well as an MG-34 heavy machine gun. Looks like Vonnie has gone for Ostdivision. Really enforcing that this is the Eastern Front. Bring up lots more infantry. Still no command chest from Wesley. The firefights continue. Looks like Wesley is relying a lot on Fontaviki, so going for a lot more professional Soviet infantry rather than the basic conscripts. Wagner with an MG-42 arriving here for the Germans. That provides a rest of fire. If the Hitler Youth have managed to hold up down here. Soviets form up behind them, or ahead of them. Hitler Youth are not the highest quality infantry, but they are fairly cheap for the Waffen-SS to utilize. That was squad down there. The Wehrmacht is pushing towards the town again. Soviets have brought a lieutenant forward to oversee the front line. MG-34 is arriving here for the Hitler Youth now to set up, which will certainly help them hold down this position. Germans are holding both fuel points because of that. Grenadiers are pushing up here. They ain't being tossed in their way though, they have to get out of there. Didn't do too much damage, but they are suffering losses there. More Soviets are arriving into the town though, bit by bit. The Soviet officer is taking losses. Soviets have pushed up to the other fuel point. The Germans cannot really stop them at the moment. It's like the Leichte Division lost a lot of its infantry early on. With the MG-34 now present, the Germans can definitely hold this area. Or Hitler Youth slowly pushing upwards here. They need a way to reinforce, which might be what's coming up here as a forward supply point for the Hitler Youth. Meanwhile, the Soviets can continue to take over the town. And the other Soviets can hold this flank here. Even bring up a Maxim machine gun. We're doing MT-42 here for the Wehrmacht. Quickly laying down suppressor fire. Which is quickly suppressing and pinning down the Soviet infantry. Cannot really stay in the center of this town like this. Maxim is being rolled up, however. Looks like an MD-34 has been handed out to one of the Hitler Youth squads. 4 HQ's been set up quite close to the front here. Which, if they don't get pushed back, is good. But if they get pushed back, that means that HQ is in trouble. Yeah, some Volksgrenadiers moving around the sides here. But they have been spotted by some Fonzoviki. All Volksgrenadiers trying to push up the road, but the Maxim is covering it. This window up here is a good position. Granatwerfer arriving here for Rachel, which might help them a little bit. MT-42s have been handed out to one of the Grenadier squads. Fishka machine gun arriving here on the right flank, which will stop any light vehicles if they come this way. But it's just becoming quite static over here. I think neither side knows how to push, or has the will to push at the moment. The fighting will continue around the town instead. The Soviets have to push the Germans across this little pond. Old HQ being established inside the town. The Soviets are intending to stay. The German infantry is just suffering a little bit of losses in these prolonged fights. And with the 4th HQ now, the Soviets can just heal in here. They can remain around. Looks like Westy has gone for shock and has started arming all the Fontoviki with designated marksmen. Even in some designated marksman rifles. A Mosin Nagant with a scope. Which might get them an edge in these long-range fights. Grenadiers are certainly having issues. One building collapses over here. Osttruppen being sent to the front. Eastern Europeans conscripted by the Nazi war machine. The fight on the Eastern Front for the most part, and apparently also in Normandy and other places. But I imagine mostly on the Eastern Front, as the name implies. Artillery attempt being called here by the lieutenant, but Osttruppen managed to throw a grenade. It's an air grenade. Doesn't stop them though. So artillery is going in on the MT-42. So it's trying to push up here with some smoke barrage. But the Hitler Youth are plenty spread out to prevent it. Looks like the machine gun survived. But now they have to pull out. Soviets are now advancing up to the side of the pond. MT-42 cleared out. They can steal the MT-42 potentially. Lots of Soviet infantry pushing up. There is a 2-2 on the field here. And the Soviets are lacking in AT rifles here. We also have some Panzergrenadiers arriving here to support. They will fight better near the tank. Oh, well, not near it. Tank, the vehicle. Soviets are trying to steal the MT-42. Wagen cleared out. 2-2 is slowly clearing up the cover here of the Fontoviki. The Soviets are pushing very aggressively. The Hitler Youth are still holding on their side though. Looks like we have an Oberblitz set up here to help replenish. The BSA is handed out here to the Soviet folks, not the Soviet, the German Volksgrenadiers. Unique upgrades them if you're playing Ost, by the way, because the Germans looted a lot of Soviet equipment and started utilizing it themselves. The 2 is doing a pretty good job though. To be expected of it, the 2-2 is quite good at what it does. Just don't get into range of something that can actually pierce it. Yeah, those Fontoviki are basically dead. You don't attempt to do that against the 2-2. Not its front anyway. Wow, he might actually make it. No, never mind. We also have a 2-1 here. About to become a 2-2. Oh, that's a lot more firepower. The Hitler Youth remains stuck in, having a long firefight here with the Soviet Union. 2-2 getting some long-range shots here on the little shit. We love me some Eastern Front fights. Eastern Front fights are always the best. Incendiary armor piercing bullets are trying to get through the front of the 2-2 at that long range, but didn't really work. 2-2 is taking out the Maxim teams over here. Panzer 4F1 arriving, and looks like more Panzergrenadiers are arriving as well in half-track. They're trying to recover the Kubelwagen there. Ready to stop, but it hits the hedgerow. There's a lack of Soviet AT equipment. Now that there's a Panzer 4F1, that's going to be even more of a problem. The firefight continues at large down here. We even have a crowd mower moved up here from the Soviets. Then is from the United States. Sysgon established here inside the town. And that's a dead first gladiator. Is it? Surely. Surely. No! They actually made it. That is rare, especially in that situation. Now, Soviets have suffered heavy losses over here, but they can easily replenish. Soviets are known for being able to replenish fairly fast. Just sitting up here to try and counter the Panzer IV. But a good shot there. The Soviets are suffering losses dealing with these vehicles. The Light Division is doing its job. Well, the Germans remain dug in down here. They've even brought over Pack 40. So they took out the crowd mower with it. Probably why they said hello. The fighting continues, but the Light Division is slowly building up its collection of vehicles. The Light Division is kind of meant to be the German mechanized, so they are very good for being mobile, actually. Having lots of light vehicles support each other with some fast Panzer Grenadiers. This is going to be used in artillery piece here. But the Ost Division is doing its best to hold out here in the open. They even brought out a lieutenant to oversee the front line. More Osttruppen spread around as well, and some Volksgrenadiers with some Osttruppen merged in. Because you can merge with Osttruppen actually. It's gonna be awkward for the squad. Instead of being called here in the third positions, they just pull a little bit back. Volksgrenadiers doing their best to push up here, but the cover here is pretty good for the officer. They can't just replenish thanks to the half-track, however. And the Hitler Youth maintain their own little fight down here. Not that much is happening, to be honest, on that end. Just a little bit of an exchange of fire and mortar shells. And some flares. We do have some guards arriving now, though. And these are the unique guards to tank destroyer which can stealth. But they just open fire. Even the there. Oh, they just gonna... They didn't move through down here? Because I'm pretty sure you can move through here, yeah. You can dodge the machine gun fire. Oh, can you? I guess not. I guess you do need to blow up this little part there. That's awkward. So it's quickly digging in with more trenches in this end. They've so far denied the fuel point to the Germans, but the Germans continue to hold the one down here. Flamethrowers have been upgraded here under the tank destroyer guards. And there's a little bit of a lull in the fighting. Mortar half-track pull forwards, which is You need to Leichte and Ostdivision, I believe. So they can both have this little mobile mortar. Oh, looks like the Germans are getting quickly overrun though on the Leichte Division's area. They did not expect to stop the Soviet assault. With a Sis gun pulled up and everything. But the Leichte Division has stuck in with a pack of their own and other things. But the Soviets don't really have a lot of vehicles at the moment. Relying mostly on infantry. Lots of static fighting over there. So it's assaulting here, but that's going to be a risky move, and indeed they decide it's not worth it. And Sis might have been pulled too far up here. Smoke shield being popped on it, that's very smart. Allow the 2-2 to back off. You know, the F1 is doing a lot of work, actually. 2-2 start rushing forwards. As the Sis is moved up, it can get out of range. 2-2 is being used to quickly target down the Sis gun. Not being the most effective at it, but it is working. There we go, they cleared it out. And the F1 is still safe. It's a good play there from the Germans, good defense. Having some other troops on the flank probably helped as well. Even still taking shots at the Sis gun. It's really called in around this building. So the Germans are intending to flatten this village. Rather than the Soviets have it. You'd think it would be the other way around, but not at this point in the war. Looks like the tank destroyer guards managed to push up thanks to the smoke. Doing a grenade assault, but they are kind of vulnerable there. We do have a Panzer IV arriving for the Panzer Division. But the Soviets have dug in, they just don't have a Sis over here. They are getting an SU-85, however, which will certainly suffice. But the Soviets have dug in, so they're going to hold on for a while here. They might want to pull the truck back, however. Because I think... yeah, the Panzer IV can see it. Truck is quickly being pulled back. Incendiary shield landed right where it would have been. T-54s are arriving at the field. KV-1s are going to be arriving soon as well. Did something get destroyed? Looks like a truck or something. I don't see where though. So it's maintained the pressure, however. Panzer IV is moving forwards. It's getting a little bit close to the Soviet infantry, which could anti-tank grenade it. Like that. That's gonna force the Panzer IV for a bit. Don't want to be that close to Soviet infantry, or just infantry in general with tanks. They tried to Molotov it to try and get the engine block. Didn't work. It's very hard to aim a Molotov on the tank that's moving, I suppose. But the SU-85 is arriving. But the fighting continues. The Waffen-SS holds on down here with the Hitler Youth squads. And the Wehrmacht continues to hold the main road. KV-1 has arrived though, which will be a hard nut to crack for what the Germans have at the moment. I guess double pack 40 could tag team it quick. Might be a smoke barrage going in. Oh, it is a smoke barrage. Very smart. That's got a cover for the advance. Here they come through the smoke. The packs are ready. The T-54 can still be used to ram 2-2 down. So they're pushing up through the smoke now. Loader injured. One pack cleared out. Oh, Gebaldeladung on engine block. T-54 taken out. K1 immobilized. Panzerfaust takes it out. Good defense there from the Germans. Getting that engine block with the Gewalterladung was definitely a good thing. It did a lot of damage to the KV. 85 has to pull back. Panzer IV. Back there. They pull back for repairs by the looks of it. They do have a repair station back here, so they're fine. Mortar being remanned here by the Germans. Looks like the Soviets have also cleared out a bit of the bocage there. Panzer IV F1 tries to push up bit by bit. Doing a pretty good job with this light little Panzer IV. Panzer IV-G is also going to be arriving shortly. Oh, we also have a Boiler Panzer. T-54 Boiler Panzer from the Ostdivision. Basically, a T-54 the Germans have commandeered. They did use a lot of Soviet equipment after all, and it's being armed with not high explosive rounds at the moment actually, but it's doing a good job. Germans are using any equipment they can get. Oh, they actually managed to get a Panther up though. That is going to be very difficult for the Soviets to deal with. Panther terms are very hard not to crack. Especially if they can put a machine gun inside it. With that, the Germans can start advancing towards the field point here again. Soviets might have to prepare another defensive line. Got some Siberians riding on the right flank. The Germans are too dug in. While the Panzer pushing up the roads with some light support. And slacking infantry near it though, got hit by a assist gun. Panzer IV-G on the flank here. Unique to Leichter, can be equipped with high explosive rounds, which I think it is at the moment. Which makes it very unique at dealing with allied infantry formations and fortified positions. It's like a very good option for pushing through. Which I think is the intention. We have a fuel airdrop in the Soviet base here as they're taking up fully. F1 scouts ahead. Finding the Soviet forward camp, and the Soviets immediately withdraw, realizing they could fight there. There's no cover to work with. And this is going to threaten the Soviets in the town, because they could be encircled now. But the fighting continues down here to be static. Hitler-Youth pushes forward, but have to pull back immediately, because the Soviets are just too dug in. So it's bringing up an officer. And the Soviets hold on long enough, though, is the question. Until their heavy armor arrives. Panzer IV-H also arriving, so looks like we have all the Panzer IVs arriving here for Rachel. A good mix that support each other and cover for each other's inadequacies. Because the F1 is not bad for what it does. That's this gun arriving. Lots of mortar rounds going in. And Skurdiers are taking shots towards the Sis. Another pillbox being set up here by the Germans. They want to keep this point covered. Which makes a lot of sense. Attack arriving here with an improved breach, so they can reload faster. While the Panzer still driving around, we do have shock troopers being formed up now by the Soviet Union. So they intend to really push the Germans back if they can. There's a strike being called in. Not hitting much. But Germans are getting more and more vehicles, which is what Leichter is good at. Leichter is kind of supposed to have a lot of vehicles. But the shock troopers are advancing. They will run into a pillbox though. And once the tanks are ready with infantry support, they'll start advancing. Static fight continues over here. Not much has changed. Back to this flank though, the fighting continues at large. Panzers are bringing a lot of machine guns with them. Pack got cleared out. Jokers are pretty damn good with their PPSHs. More shock troopers are arriving en masse. So the Surge are going all in the shock army here. It's not been working out on this flank yet. Lieutenant has to pull back, he's taking too many shots. The Panzer Force need to get in a position where they can advance, but they're being targeted by the sister. By the Panzer providing a little bit of flanking support. Syscon has been remanded here by the Germans, stealing another piece of Soviet equipment. The static fight continues on this flank. The Panzer Division for the Mthis is just digging in and holding out. I guess they're relying on their Wehrmacht to do the pushing today. We do have a Hauptmann who could call in a much bigger barrage here. Might be the intention, but he needs to get to a good bit of cover. Yeah, he got too suppressed there. Not even worth trying. We do have the 25th Panzer Grenadiers on the field though. Unique to Ostdivision. Really cool Panzer Grenadiers, by the way. Probably one of my favorites. Got a lot of nice equipment, including the improved Panzerschreck. Panzer Voyage being repaired. Lots of good Panzer Grenadiers around. We don't see this Panzer Grenadier that often. It's good to see them. Generally, people prefer to go for these guys, the 90th, because they have access to the MKB-42, which is basically like an STG. Like the precursor to it. MKB-42 doing a good bit of work here, laying down suppressive fire on the town. And they just need that Hauptmann back there to call in the artillery strike. Static fight is just remaining here. I don't think this is going to change for a lot of the game. We do have a T-3045As here. Trying to show up the center. The MG42 team. Very impressive. Wait, can tanks drive over these now? That looked awkward because it didn't. Huh. I need to keep an eye on if tanks can just drive over sandbag walls now. I might have missed that if that was a part of an update. Lots of artillery going in under German positions, but they are not taking too many losses. They can always just pull the Hitlerjugend back here to heal, but the artillery strikes are getting pretty immense. Incendiary mortar round does prevent the Soviets from pushing though, as it overheats the engine of the H-35 and pins the Soviet infantry and actually burns them. They don't want to stay in that fire. Like, look how little health they have left. And I killed the entire Siberians because they didn't react fast enough. They're burned alive. 85 Ace is advancing. With infantry support, so that's why it's doing so well. Panzerschreck hits the 85 Ace, but survives. Pack cleared out. Okay, well, the T-30, not T-30, was the Panzer Force is time to advance. Working together here, using lots of smoke rounds. That's good to see from Rachel. Rachel is using their abilities. And smoke rounds can really be an effective tool at countering anti-tank guns, obscuring their line of sight. And now these vehicles can just work together. They have to take out this heavy mortar here too. Indeed, the German panzers have pushed through. They could actually threaten to encircle now. Like, the town is suffering more and more, but that 85 Ace is doing its best to hold it up. But now, the panzers are pushing towards the town. Explosive round loaded here. Doesn't hit because of the stone wall. Panzer Force pulled back because they don't want to brawl with the 85 AC yet. Man, the Soviets have managed to push up here to the fuel point. But the Hitler Youth are still present to try and stop them. And this is a long match. You know, the Germans keep advancing, but the 85 Ace can get a flanking shot here. Takes out one of the Panzer IVs, but took a pack shot. But the Germans can push through. If they can get up here and take this point, they can actually be enforced from this area. Because this like counts as a arrival point, just like down here, which is where a Tiger tank has now arrived for the Waffen-SS. Problem is, they're dealing with a tank destroyer commander with an Su-85, which could potentially pierce the front of that Tiger. Looks like the Soviets are finally deciding it's not worth taking it down, as the Germans are zeroing in the guns. White concentrated barrage didn't do too much. We have a KV-8 also arriving. The Ost Division is trying to push into the town though, after the preliminary barrage. But once that KV-8 starts to get close, they'll realize they want to get out of there. Too late. And now they have the Ace to support as well. Although I think the KV should be leading the way. Oh, and the flamethrower. Oh god, that Ost Division squad just got completely killed. Tiger tank reveals itself. But the push is not really working. The Soviets are just too entrenched. It's very hard to get through the entrenched position. There's a hedge in the way. Here's the Su-85 cannot hit it. But the Soviet infantry is trying to get close. I forced the Tiger to pull back. Being destroyed on the Ace. That's the Germans' chance to move, but the KV-8 still has its flamethrower. They've been blinded though. Panzer IV is really going for it. They take out the KV-8, now they just need to take out the Ace. Looks like the Ace is going to be able to pull back safely. Fire tank remains. Still being calling here on the Panzer IV-J. I don't think it's going to be that heavy though, so I think the Panzer IV is fine. Might just be mortar shells. And just mortar shells. If I have to turn. So returning, aiming his 85mm gun. Doesn't penetrate. Panzer Faust managed to daze. Smoke popped. Molotov. Just barely dodged it. Meanwhile, we have an IS-2 arriving on the northern flank for the Shock Army. Which I'm not sure that Light Division is prepared for. They do have the Panther turn back here, though. The pillbox is not gonna last long. Ost Division is starting to advance, though, pulling in Sturm Radius as well. Equipped with MP40s, PPS-80s, and Gewalterladungs. So fully equipped for close quarters combat. It's 5 and mortar half-track with 58 kills. Very impressive. More KVs are going to be arriving. We do have another T-34-85 as well. Once these T-35 start to get in numbers, they'll be a problem for the Germans. Sturmgrenadier is taking heavy losses there. Another issue. This is an issue 100. It has a much higher chance to penetrate, but a much more clumsier gun. Unfortunately, we don't have a unique model for it, because you can add unique models to how many views 2 modding, I'm afraid. But it has a much bigger gun. They're gonna set them one up there in an ambush position. Oh, are they just gonna try and get a sight under the Tiger? Doesn't hit. It's not the most accurate gun. If it hits, it tends to do a lot of damage. Would be 100 millimeters of fuck you. As I said, it's not very accurate. As we can so far see. Have we had any luck? Yeah, another miss. The rain doesn't really help either, to be honest. 85 got a good shot there, and the Panzer IV taking it out. Like, if this was coming here was free, this hill here would actually have a marked effect on being able to hit them. IS-2 took a shot from several packs in the gun. Might have to pull that IS-2 back. Also, SU-100 hit the Tiger, almost killing it in one shot. Might have to be the 85. Not sure. More and more T-54s are going to start arriving sooner or later. Which I don't think the Germans are that prepared for. Let's get another Panther term up here in the center. But the Grenadiers are still pushing forwards bit by bit. They have prepared another beachhead here on the other side of the pond. The Hitler Youth are still just having this long drawn-out fight. Until they've been called here by the Ostdivision's lieutenant. Oh, half-track got destroyed! Oh no! That's the veteran one too! That sucks. Artillery on the Soviet positions to deny them for a while. Just light infantry gun though. KV tried to push up here. Lost its gun. Hack is quickly trying to reload. Oh, but got cleared out by a heavy mortar. Driver injured on the KV. They're trying to repair down the open field, which is not really a good idea. Injured driver has been replaced inside. Oh, injured again! Oh, that Panzer is doing a lot of little work. Hardman calling in artillery on the town. Not as much of a town slash village left. T-54 pushing up. Oh, that concentrated barrage is doing a lot of work. Oh, the Soviets lost their officer. So the infantry is doing its best though, pushing up bit by bit here still. Hitler Youth is holding on despite their low numbers. Second Tiger tank has survived. Looks like we have a Tiger team gonna be working together here. Having several Tigers work together is a really good thing. So it's managed to push up to the fuel point here again. Pillbox is suppressing them. I'll be able to take the point though before they get pinned. Looks like they do. Nice, two still being repaired. Takes a while to reload repair heavy tanks. I like the fortifications here, that's very nice. The Germans are lacking in artillery though. But now we have the double Tiger tank, they're pushing towards the 85s. I think the 85s realize something is up. Probably know the Tigers are coming, you could probably hear the engines. We also have a Soviet Capitan, but I don't think he can do much. This could manage to get a good shot on the Tiger though. Man, the Sis is doing a good job against both Tigers. I can remember the arm of the Tiger is not that impressive at this point in the war. Like, it's still a good tank, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like the Panther's front llama like we see here. Although, this is like this, so they get the worst version of the Panther, which is much slower and not as good. Has the same gun though, so still a pretty good gun. Not much change down here still. I think the Soviets need to get some more equipment out. T-54A still remains around and active. Looks like it's being relocated to the northern flank because the shock army is kind of stuck. The Light Division is actually doing a pretty good job holding them all back. Also, the Light Division has managed to get the Panzer. Panzer 4 taken out. And for Term got a good shot there on the 85As, forcing it to pull back. Still going into the German positions, but they just pulled back after that. And that's actually the moment where you should start pushing. Now pushing a little bit further up, and it's not that much. Also, the SU-100 is being relocated over here, as they know that's where the Tigers are. And conscripts also being pushed forward to just scout ahead. But that unusual. Know where the Tigers are. And the Hitler Youth remains effective here. Surprisingly so. What are the Soviets going to do at this point? Not a Panther around here for the Light Division. They're going heavy into Panthers now. Tigers is slowly creeping up. 85A is going to try and take a shot. Risky maneuver here. H100 is also moving up. Doesn't penetrate. H100 doesn't penetrate either. One Sis cleared out. Got a good shot there, and the KV forcing it back. The Tigers do have to consider pulling back. Fighting just continues on across this little pond and flatland. What a poor and sad sight here on the Eastern Front. That's how war is for ya. It's horrible. SU-100s are now in position to attack team. And looks like the Light Division is pushing forward using their Panzer first. IS-2 is almost repaired. They only have one repair team on it, so... There's a lack of Soviet AT equipment up here. It's certainly allowing the Germans to get more of an upper hand here for now. Once that IS-2 rolls up, they're in trouble. We do have an elephant now riding for the Ostdivision. Lots of big guns here for the Germans. And from the flank here. IS-2 is ready for action again. Slowly rolling up. They could probably relocate a heavy mortar to be down here to supplement against this flank. I think that could actually flatten the Hitler Youth's defense. Tiger tanks relocating. Probably because the elephant is now here to cover the center. And I like the Blitz being moved around to like serve as a mobile repair station for it. Although reverse like that doesn't make any sense. Because that reverse is way too fast and way too elegant. Heavy artillery being called here by the Soviet Kapitan, or was it? Yeah, that's a Kapitan. So a big barrage is about to come in here. Oh yeah, all over the place. And that's actually the push where you would start to push. Yeah, yep, they're starting to push up here. So the Tigers are present. This going on, we're gonna have a tank battle over here as well. T-45s are getting into positions. Ace is gonna lead them. Panther taking side shots. They're jammed. 185 taken out. One Panther taken out. Well, down here, the SU-100 is pushing over the Tigers. Tigers' armor is somewhat holding up here at the range. You always want to fight with the Tiger at the longest range possible. But even the deflecting shots are happening. But the SU-100 has like paper thin armor. So 185mm shield goes straight through and destroys it. 185, 88, ugh. Getting all my shells mixed up now and calibers. All the guns. Not a good sign. Half a turn being set behind the center now. Most division was ready to dig in. Somebody is pushing across the water. And the light division is preparing to push up. Scavenging some equipment off the ground first. The IS-2's ready again. Boiler Panzer being used as the Spearhead. Two days of the IS-2, thanks to the Panther. So doing an AP round for the Panther here. And doesn't penetrate. Driver engine on the IS-2. The IS-2 probably has to pull back here. You cannot brawl with the Panther at this long range. Well, down here we have several of the ISU still holding an eye out. One Tiger got destroyed actually, I didn't see that. But a Panther being called in. And more T-45s as well. Do we have a shock captain? We don't have a shock captain, that's a shame, because I believe the shock captain has the largest artillery strike the Soviets can call in the entire game. Which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's a huge one, it takes ages to set up. But once it fires, it just destroys an entire region of the map. Like, imagine setting that up down here. T-54 and Panther slowly tries to advance here to get some ground again. 85's on the move. 85 Ace is working hard. Several 85s are being queued up after this. Looks like a Popo SK has gotten to the point where 85s don't cost a lot anymore. Oh, Ace took a big shot. It's an upgrade for it, I think. This one. Oh, that's just the build time. Never mind. It's this one. Oh, yeah. They got them cheap as they can possibly be now. The T-45s are very efficiently made. They can start flooding the map with the 85s. Oh, we have some Romanians on the field. I guess we're somewhere in Romania, potentially. Lots of fighting here. We don't have to be in Romania, but we're somewhere, you know, in Eastern Europe, in the Balkans, potentially. It's cool to see the Romanians. We don't have a unique model, unfortunately. There's the Osttroppen one, but it's cool to see them. Osttroppen gets, Ostdivision gets these cool battle groups that are from Germany's Eastern European allies, which is a nice little touch. Like Romania, Hungary, and I believe it's just us two. Might just be Romania and Hungary. Yeah, I think it's just Romania and Hungary. I'm pretty sure Bulgaria has switched sides to the Soviets at this point.
Enemy is attacking one of our forward buildings.
Panthers pushing up towards the IS-2. The IS-2 cannot have a long-range firefight like this. 85s remain on the flank. 185 down. Good artillery strike on the town again. Or what's left of it. Panthers push forwards. Oh, the IS-2 is still very damaged here. Ace took a flanking shot, didn't do anything. But more and more 85s slowly arriving. Actually, I shouldn't say slowly, they are arriving pretty fast. IS-2's holding on here, loading an AP round. Trying to get that boy to Panzer. But those Panthers get some good shots on it. Let's take out the boy to Panzer though. Chuckshams are gonna have to pull back. Watson will go into the town here. As the Capitans preparing their own strike here. Although I think the Soviet artillery strike is going to be much bigger. Pumps the elephant to move. At least somewhat. Did it cancel? Guess nothing happened. Regardless, the 85s are advancing. Picking up 185 there in quick succession. But the 85s just got to keep driving forward. So they need to not stop up. The Ace is down, sacrificing himself for the motherland. Ramming. Oh, but gets halted right in front. I guess that 85 got stuck on the other wreck. So the Germans and the Romanians managed to hold this ground this time. You know, the Soviets advancing down here. The UFO could even be pushed up to try and hold it back. Target tank is back there. Siberians are out in the oven, but they're doing their best. Hitler quickly being rushed forwards here. There's some good shots in on the Siberians, forcing them off. '85s keep pushing forwards. They managed to take out the elephant. I missed that. Oh god. Excuse me. I need to relocate my seat here. Ugh. Okay, suddenly everything is like brewing up here. Elephant destroyed, and Tiger Tank has to be relocated to the center. This battle suddenly heated up, but that's what happens when the Soviets get going. Elephant is under, not Elephant, Tiger's under hunt. Jans turret an 85. SUs are pointed towards it though. Hitler, you're pushing forwards. Good shot there from the SU. Gonna force the Tiger off. But the Panthers are starting to push into the town. Romanians are being pushed forwards. Take down another T-34. IS-2 pushed on the northern flank again. Double IS-2 actually. Some gun is meant to get a battle log north. That is gonna be dangerous. Oh. T-34 withdrew, but its engine is gone. And we have big German artillery strikes going in. Luckily, not a single shell lands here. That is some lucky sappers. IS-2 lost his gun, but the other IS-2 stood around. One Panther's been entrenched here. IS-2 is loading an AP round. Picks up one Panther. 85's on the move. Panzer 4Hs are being repaired. They have grabbed the Boider Panzer T-3045. Let's have to get repaired. Its engine block is busted. Hitler Youth continues to hold. The static fight is still raging on. So many people are dying here. Oh, this is the Eastern Front for you. Instead, your great forces the shock troopers off before they lose a single man. Eighty-five is pushing up. They're going to encounter Boider Panzer now.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Boider Panzer 85 takes out the other 85. Well, that was actually the Panther, I think. Nope, Panther didn't get the kill. Who got the kill then? You also have a KV-1 now to try and soak up damage. As 2 speeds cycled in and out. Nothing too unusual there. We do have a lot of heavy mortars now running for the shock army. Trying to flatten the German defense. But the Panthers doing a good job tag teaming these ISs. Pretty long match. Oof.
The enemy is attacking one of our forward
The
buildings.
more 85s are in, but the Stuarts are lacking in infantry. Pablo SK is putting everything into 85s. Which is neglecting their infantry capacity. And infantry is very important to have with your tanks. 85 is holding on. Also, the Boider Panzer 85 won out. I guess the Soviet tank is probably out-taught where to aim on a T-34. Whereas the German tank know exactly where to aim. Be the most effective. Lots of artillery going in. This place is just being flattened. I like how this defensive line though. Good job from the Soviets. There's just a lot of digging in. Oh, but now that is shrapnel around. Wurfgranate, I think. I believe it's actually a bouncing grenade, where the idea is it lands into the ground, bounces up, and then explodes. Releasing a shrapnel like that. Very cool concept. The bouncing round, basically. So as a man's to decapture the point, not gonna be able to take it. I'm sure the Hitler Youth are ready to push in to take it back. One more 85s are slowly being called in as well. Nothing out of the ordinary there. But as I said, we are lacking in Soviet infantry from the central flank now. German Hauptmann with PSHs holding the center. Although he still has an invisible gun, somehow. IS is ready to push again. I was thinking put an AP and IDA on both Panthers at the same time. They need sight though. And they don't have the munitions. And the Panthers is just slowly taking long-range shots. With the high velocity guns. AP round has been loaded. Doesn't penetrate. And force the IS-2s back again. Big artillery strike on the other flank again. Oh god. Unfortunately though, this flank of the Soviet army is not relying a lot on tanks, just assault guns or tank destroyers rather. So they cannot really advance and take and care about these packs being cleared, I think. One Panther taken out. Looks like an AP round from an IS-2 got it. Meanwhile, we're just waiting for the not the IS-2, the T-34 Swarm to be completed. Are they gonna overrun the central flank here? Black gun has been established. Keep an eye on the fuel points. Yep, T-34 is advancing. That's a lot of T-34. Gotta move quickly. They're ordered to target infantry as well. One good shot from an 85. They need to keep driving. Stopping up is not gonna help. They take out the Panzer IV there, but they're being taken out bit by the S-85. It's not an easy place to assault here. And some of this fighter Panzer 85 is doing a really damn good job of it. And long ass fight. So the issues of relocating. Probably realize the Tiger's not gonna attempt much over here yet. Siberian's gaining up on the flank here. Hitler Youth is pushing forwards again. Smoke rounds going into, very smart. Or Soviet smoke, actually. Oh, because the Soviets were intending to try and take it, right. But smoke rounds do actually damage the ground when they hit them, especially the larger the round. The larger the round, the more damage it does. Which makes sense, it's still a solid object. They do manage to capture the point still, so at least achieve something. This fighter Panzer is just doing a lot of work. We also have an 88 set up. That'll certainly put a stop to any future tank assault here. At least for a while. You know, the light division is somewhat halted. It cannot really advance because of these IS-2s, but it's also stopping the IS-2s from advancing. So at least it's doing something. When it comes to war attrition, the Soviets have the upper hand, however. But there's been good use of the Hitler Youth here and more expensive infantry from Maverick side. It's really working out, to be honest, I think. The Hitler Youth is more than adequate to take care of your problems when holding the line. Like, sure, they're not as good as Sturmgrenadiers, but they can get the job done. More defights are prepared and they're gonna push. Having the KB-1 lead the way. Another artillery strike going in as well. But they don't know about the 88. Good artillery strike though. Bringing it over and they just need to keep driving forwards. Need to not stop. They took out the Beider Panzer. Need to keep moving. Keep moving non-stop. 88 is sitting up. Takes up 188. Oh, not 88, 85. But now they're being flanked. High explosive on the pack. They were playing it out. The Youth on the flank. 88 remanned. Tiger tank moves up, takes a shot. And Tiger tank taken out. Those SU-100s really just murder Tiger tanks. And they have technically made an opening if they can just get infantry to push through, but they have no infantry here. Also, the Panzer Grenadiers from the Light Division is being relocated to cover the front now. Really pushing into the ruined town. Well, still, is this structure standing, surprisingly. Also, this one over there. Elephant taken out here by the SU-100. Hitler Youth just running around. Panzergrenadiers are advancing. The lack of Soviet infantry is really showing. They have nothing to hold the front line. I suppose it destroys the squad though. Panzerfaust does not penetrate. That is a rarity on the T-44. Papa SK has no infantry left whatsoever. Some Soviet shock troopers being relocated to the town. Yeah, the lack of Soviet infantry is really showing. Artillery being called here by the Ostdivision. That's gonna be a lot of artillery. Light artillery guns and heavy artillery guns. Right in this Soviet hard point. And that's a lot of shells. Taking out the KV as well. There's no Hitler you have to push up behind it, unfortunately. And the fighting is turning into somewhat of a stalemate.
T-34 ready for combat.
Man, this is just a lot of back and forth. Not barely any ground has been taken from either side. No real big advances. Soviets are trying to dig in though in the ruined town with a little trench. IS-2s are trying to make a push here, but there's a lot of guns pointed in this little area. No artillery guns though, although I believe us can build howitzers, they just haven't done it yet. Probably have to spend the resource and everything else. Speaking of it, that we have more Romanians. Just calling to show up the front line. Lots of heavy mortar shells too from the Soviet shock army. And they spread the heavy mortars a bit around. Oh, destroyed the command half track. Oh. Yeah, I feel Rachel's having a hard time here. Oh, the ISs are preparing to advance. Loading AP rounds. Remains trying to take the fuel point here again. The Soviets remain firmly dug in. Marines might be able to actually take it at this point. Nothing is really stopping them. Not being targeted. There we go, now they're being suppressed. And they couldn't take it. Guys, we set up another Panther term though. But it's being targeted, they know where it is, and therefore they cancel it. I think I'm further back instead. Romanian squad killed. Oh, Hauptmann taken out there by a grenade. That's gonna hurt. At this point, the IS-2s can start advancing again shortly. Those are the T-34s are planning to push down here. Probably realized that the Waffen-SS is the soft underbelly now. If they can get through all those packs. And looks like the Kapitan is gearing up for an artillery strike. Right around here. But they lack the infantry to push up with it. I guess the Siberians and the Sappers can suffice. Because if they can clear out all these AT guns, they should be good. You do the drive over them? They do drive over them! So these sandbag walls no longer get destroyed by tanks or vehicles. But the Panther term is set up. Not all packs were cleared out. And the T-34s just need to keep driving forwards. They need to not stop. Yeah, there we go. They got past the packs here. And that's where the problem starts to happen for the Germans. Where's the infantry? They need to keep pushing up. Issues also pushing up. Artillery strike being called here by the Germans. Not looking good for the Germans now at all. Almost running entirely out of troops here. They have those tanks that can quickly relocate to help. IS-2 is also starting to advance now. The light division is kind of held up. They're starting to lose their Panthers one by one, and these IS-2 is using AP rounds to destroy the tanks bit by bit, like that's the Panzer IV. But the Mthis has been overrun. Looks like the Soviets have their beachhead. And they just need to push through so they can envelop the German positions. They just need to take out that Panther term as well. If they can achieve that, they should surely have this. IS-2 making the push. There's only a Panther to stop them, and a pack. They decide to pull back instead. They've been calling in on the Panther term. The Germans desperately trying to set up a new defense. Well, that's a smoke barrage. Will it be enough though? Because the Soviets can just keep driving down here if they want. If we're trying to be set up here to hold the defense, probably with this stone wall they can get there. They've been spotted. They will take out these Siberians though. Soviets are now pushing upwards. Ooh, it's been a good match here, to be honest. I will say that. Good and long. That's why I'm also having a hard time saying things. It's just been such a long match, and you've been able to see everything that's been going on. But the Waffen is using their base structures now. They are getting a Panther though, but it might arrive a little bit too late.
Mechanized regimental HQ has been destroyed. Local command vehicle has been dispatched.
Lots of artillery strikes there. Looks like it's still not smoke, is it? What's a mortar doing smoke? Mortar that's doing smoke, right? Oh, wait, anti-tank grenading it. I guess that's a way to do it. That was a seismic charge. Destroying the gun, so that means that the... Oh, they're trying to self-destruct it. But they stop after seeing that happening. Hitler, if we're gonna try and rush to 85, probably not a good smart move. At such long distance, but it's working. Yeah, I guess they've been reloading the machine guns. Here's a Panther. And this is the good version of the Panther, so it might actually have a chance. Like, the good version of the Panther is actually really damn good. Like, it's one of the best tanks in the game. Shock Army's managed to push up here. Light Division has been completely overrun. They just got a Command Panther arriving. I feel the Light Division's issue is they just didn't push. They need to kind of apply pressure to those IS-2s. Because they had to get to those heavy mortars, but it just didn't work. Panther gets taken out by the issues, and at this point, the Germans surrender. Makes sense. It's been a good long hard fight. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye bye.